Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Narelle from Simply Narelle, and today is Tuesday the 6th of June 2023, and welcome to my video about my cross-stitching adventures. Hang on, get the teeth in. Alright, so what's been happening? Well, I've been really busy. I have tried to get stitching done every night. Sometimes I didn't get a lot done, but I did try. There's been lots going around. No, there's been lots happening. Words are hard. Wait, I've just come home, so I'm a bit frazzled. Hang on, I need a sip of coffee. Oh, that's hot. Just come home from taking my son to doctor's appointment. We are going down the track of, if you're in Australia, you'll understand, NDIS support. Went to the doctor for her to fill in all the paperwork. Now I have to have another fight with the psychologist who wrote the report for my son and didn't give him a level for ASD. And we've gone backwards and forwards with this psychologist for a while now. And he is not refusing but doesn't want to put a level in. The doctor today said it's really, really important that he puts a level in, even if it's a suggestive level, because without a level with NDIS, it's really hard to get the funding without having to go through all the re-diagnosis. He was diagnosed, my son was diagnosed in 2011 with autism, and 2006 with ADHD. So back then, there was no such thing as a level. But now for NDIS, it's all level 1, 2 or 3. So I need him to put in a suggestive level. So anyway, I now have to go back and fight with them to get that put in the report. It's only taken us 12 months from when we first visited them to get a report. Anyway, I won't go into that. They're not my favourite people. Anyway, so, and then I'm also teaching him to learn to drive. That is an experience, let me tell you. He's okay. He's just very wary. The concentration thing with ADHD sometimes can be an issue, but he's going good. He started off in my car, which the brakes on my car are really, really sensitive. So I think that put him off a little bit. And my car is a four-wheel drive, so it's a bit big. So it was not four-wheel drive, it's what they call an SUV or something rather. And it's bigger than a standard car, so I think that put him off. So then we jumped in his dad's car and he went around the block, the extended block, a few times yesterday, and was a bit better, more confident because the brakes are okay. But anyway, so that's what's happening. And amongst all that, I've actually got some stitching done. It's early in the month, so my Project Bag of the Month club, if you're watching this and you're in the club, the bags will be a little bit delayed this month because of everything else that I'm having to do, the running around with the son to different appointments, the daughter to doctors and all dentists and all sorts of stuff. So they're going to be a little bit delayed. I have half of them sewn, the rest I've yet to sew. They will be out definitely by the end of this week. But if you're waiting on them and you're wondering why you haven't got a receipt or a delivery notification, that there's a shipping notification, that's why they're going to be a little bit delayed. So I'm hoping tomorrow, I think there's only 2 appointments tomorrow I need to go to, so then after that I don't think there's anything for the rest of the week. I should be able to sit and sew them all and get them all done. Alright, so stitching. Let's get on to it. So I did the last video on the 23rd of May and I did no stitching that night. I was just really tired, couldn't be bothered. So then the next one I worked on was Cooktown Orchids, and this was for my WIPGO. It was a WIPGO call in March, and it was also on my May Magazine Monthly Challenge. It was the O for the acrostic of Borealis, and it's also on my Year of Whips. So Melanie, I can't remember, Soulful Stitching, I think, started a group of Year of Whips. So you choose however many whips, minimum of 6, I think it is, whips, to concentrate on the year to try and get a finish in the year. but however many you choose. So if you choose to do 12 whips, then you have to complete 6 of them in the year, and then to go in the drawing for a little prize. So the Cooktown Orchids was on my year of whips, and not only did I stitch on it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, I sort of got into it and then couldn't stop, but I actually finished it. So check this out. So this is a finish. All right, look at that. So if I have a picture, I will insert it where it was last time you saw it. This is the one that had that grease mark on it that you actually can't see anymore. So it was over here, and I was going to put stitch an extra leaf in there, but I don't think I need to. I think it looks okay. Like from a distance, you cannot tell there was a grease mark. Even if I get it up close, you really can't tell there was a grease mark. There's a tiny, tiny bit, but it's, unless you know it's there, you're not going to notice it. So I'm really happy with that. Sorry, I haven't ironed it. That's just as I finished it. And it's a finish, and it's also a completed Whip Go goal. This was the first piece I came back to in 2017 when I decided, or early 2018 when I decided I need to get back into stitching. And this is a DMC kit that I bought from Spotlight. Paid an absolute fortune for it. Anyway, but now it's done. Yay. And I was dreading this one for a long, long time because I had made some massive error on it. And there is a section in the middle that sort of, if you look really closely and compare it to the picture, what it's meant to look like, there's a little bit that's not going to match and it looks a bit strange. But without having the image of what it's meant to look like next to it, and it's going to be on the wall, no one's going to know. They're just going to go, aren't they pretty flowers? Are they orchids? So that is a finish. Woohoo. All right, the next one I worked on was no label. I have no idea what's in here. Oh, okay, that not yet. Next one I worked on was Morrison. And this is my very first Hands Across the Sea sampler. I don't know why I was slow in saying that, because I sort of might have forgotten what it was called. So this is Morrison. Now, this was a special exclusive release for Traditional Stitches Cross Stitch Store in Canada, I believe. It was their 20th anniversary stitch along. So, first time I'd ever bought from overseas, and the shipping was not cheap coming from Canada, so I paid quite a bit of money for this. So I'm determined to get it finished. So I worked on this a few days, and again, my first sample, I had no concept of really how big they were. And the only fabric that I had that wasn't like 14 count Aida was 25 count even weave, which, you know, works out to 14 count Aida anyway. So anyway, this is, I'll put a picture in if I have it. I don't know if I have one of this, but it's hard to fit it all in. I've got a wheel back. All right, so it is quite big. See how big that is? Oh, the arm's hurting. Right, there it is, top to bottom. It is very, very big. When I did it last, I was down to, I think, here. I'd done the Love Heart, which that finishes, or that goes on to another page. So I'd done the bird, I'd done the basket, and I'd done one tree, and I'd done this. So this time around, I put in the initials, the tree, this row, and all these, are they called Algerian eyelets down the bottom for the letters. So that's A-N-N, and that's M, and that's starting the O. The little ones are just straight cross stitch, but the big capital letters are Algerian eyelets. So I really, really enjoyed working on this, and it's going to be big. It's going to be huge when it's done, but, you know, that's the fabric I had, and that's all I could stitch on at that time. So this one got 2 days, I believe. Let me check because I need to go into June. Yes, 2 days. So I don't have a lot to show. Sorry, there's not a lot of projects that I worked on because I sort of got into the mode of when I pulled a piece out, I wanted to work on it for more than just the one day that I had it listed down for. And then I thought, am I becoming a monogamous stitcher? I don't know, but I sort of stitched on one and then didn't want to put it away. And the only reason I changed to other projects was because, well, isn't my next video going to be boring if I have just the one project to show you? So I thought, well, I'd better get some other stuff stitched on. All right, the next one was a new start, a bit of a whim. I was sitting here and thinking, all right, I've got so many beautiful charts that if I stitch them on the fabric I have or I'm used to, they're going to be absolutely massive, and I'm going to run out of wall space after I've finished about 4 of them. So I thought I'm going to bite the bullet, and I asked a stitching time in Hobart, which is my go-to L&S, even though it's not local, it's like down the other side of, down the other end of Australia. It's my go-to for buying stuff. I just love supporting them for some reason, and they have a big range. She's always very responsive, gets stuff in really quickly for me, and I can't fault her service, so I keep going back to her, not physically but online. Anyway, and I asked her to get in, I think I showed them last video, all the fabric for all the charts that I picked out, like I've forgotten what they're called. I do have them. I think I showed them last video. I think I showed them. And I thought, well, a lot of them call for like 32 count linen and stuff. And I thought, well, and I want them all to be big. And I did ask her to source me whatever fabric she had that would suit these charts. And I did tell her I wanted to try and start stitching on the higher count linens. And I'd never stitched on linen before. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, I've asked her to get all this in, or to, you know, send it to me. How do I know I can even stitch on linen? So I thought, well, I had better do a test stitch. And then I remembered that I got this little chart, Primitive Hair Cross Stitch Collector. That was a market release, exclusive market release, Nashville 2022. All right, isn't that just beautiful? I love that. So I thought, well, that's a kit in that it had the linen in with the pattern. And I went, well, I have it and it's only little. Let's see what I can do. So I started this on the 30th of May and I finished it. I loved every second of stitching on this. And this is a 30 count linen, and it took me, I've only got written down that I did 2 days on this. I did the 30th of May, I started it. Wednesday the 31st, I worked on it. Oh no, hang on. Then June the 1st, June the 2nd, and I finished it on Saturday, June the 3rd. Look at that. I am so stinking proud of this. It's my first ever time working on linen, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I stitched in hand because it is quite, like, it's not even 6 inches deep, so I didn't have a small enough frame or hoop or anything to put it in, so I stitched in hand, and I love it. Now, there are a few things that are incorrect on mine. So you'll see my O, my big O here, is too high. All right, it's a little bit high. So I think it's only like a row out, and there's something else that's a row out. I think when I go over here to the lady, she's over here, there's something wrong here with lining it up, and she is too high up to the scissors. It's meant to be more rows between the scissors and her. So obviously I've got out of whack somewhere, but I don't know where, and I wasn't going to pull it out. And it was my first test stitch to see if I could actually stitch on linen, and I can. And I love this. Sorry, my light is flickering. I've got it plugged into the USB, but I've also got my phone on charging because it's really flat, so sorry. Yeah, so I absolutely love this. Love it, love it, love it. It's quite a big weave for 30. Oh, I think it's a big weave for 30. I don't know. But when I've looked at some other 28 counts that I've got, but I haven't actually been game enough to stitch on, they looked smaller. So, but I do also wear magnifying glasses. So I have the ones that go over your head, and I think they're double 2.5 or something like that. So I'm sorry, did you hear that? That was my stomach. I'm hungry. Yeah, which magnifies it, because there's no way I could stitch on it without magnification. So maybe that's why I think it looks bigger. But I am in love with this. So I do have the board that it came with. It came with a dark wooden board that I can mount this on. So I do also have the mounting foam stuff. I can't remember what it's called. I'm going to mount it on that and then on the board. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but I am so in love with that. So I'm really, really pleased that I can stitch on linen. How cool is that? Right, I'm going to leave that pattern out for a minute to tell you why. So that was a new start and a finish, all in the 2 weeks since I've seen you last. So now that's really cool. Next one I stitched on was If You Sprinkle. The other thing, actually, I'm going to go back to Cooktown Orchids in a minute. No, I think I can talk about it on this one. Right, so this one, If You Sprinkle, I think I worked on it one day. My family, actually, when I told them I stitched a toilet, they're going, what? What did you stitch a toilet for? And I showed them the chart and they just laughed. They said, what are you doing with that? So it's going in the toilet when it's done. Right, If You Sprinkle. Design Works by Joan Elliott. So this is an oldie and a goodie. Sorry about the glare, there we go. So I'm actually going to frame this and put this in the toilet. Even if it gives people just a little bit of laugh when they see it, then, you know. But I was stitching here, around here on the toilet. And I said to them, hey, I've just stitched part of a toilet. They're like, what? She's officially lost her marbles. And this, I will put a picture up of where it was. I think I have one of where it was. And this is what I've got now. So I worked on all this around here and the side of the toilet seat. All I had was the sleeve. So what I wanted to say, I forgot to say, I've got it in my notes, I forgot to talk about it when I showed Cooktown Orchids, was the back stitching. Now, I always leave the back stitching to last and then I rush to get it done and I don't concentrate on it, and I'm sure I cut corners and I don't do it properly because I just want to get the thing finished. This time, going forward, I'm going to backstitch as I go. So on here you'll see the sleeve. That's the sleeve of the lady. I've actually backstitched already around that. When I finish the toilet completely, I'm going to go in and backstitch around that. Now this is going to change how I stitch because I don't normally stitch to like an object. So on this chart, like because I started on her sleeve, I then wanted to move this way, so I started on the toilet. But, you know, I could have easily, and in the past I would have, gone up to the shelf, and there would have been bits and pieces all around that were done, but not in a completion type fashion of finishing an object. So I wouldn't have finished the teddy and then backstitched around her. I wouldn't have finished the toilet completely and then moved on to something else. It would have been where I felt like going next. So what I'm going to try and do now, be really conscious of what it is that I'm stitching. And because I'm now doing the toilet, I'm now going to complete all the toilet and then backstitch around it. Then move on and finish her, stitch all of the teddy bear and then backstitch around it. I'm hoping that that is going to be easier for me, and at the end I won't be rushing just to get the backstitching done and get it finished. So I thought, well, I spend all these hundreds of hours stitching a project, to rush it at the end is really, really silly. So why spend all that time doing it if you're going to rush it? So that is my toilet so far. Yeah, so that I did 2 days. No, I did 1 day. 1 day. I spent Saturday. So from about Saturday lunchtime, I guess. No, because I finished the cross stitch collector on Saturday. So that was up until, I know I was watching the footy when that was on. So I don't think I did. I worked on If You Sprinkle until after dinner Saturday, so that was okay for one night's stitching. Okay, the next one was another new start, and I finally got to start this, even though I showed it I think a few videos ago. I started William Morris Strawberry Thief. So that's the pattern, absolutely stunning. Now this is Debs Wallpaper Cell. There's a few of us stitching it. I'd like to see more people stitching it because it is a stunning project. And I've worked on this for 2 nights, and this is what I have so far. So I don't have a before picture to show you. It's still on the Q-Snap because I am still working on it. And I think I might work on it again tonight because I want to get across to the end of page 1. So page 1 goes down here. This is on 18 count white 8er. And the background is all dark blue. So I had a choice with this, whether I wanted to stitch it on navy 8er or white 8er and back stitch the background. They give you 2 choices in the chart. So the chart is not, background is not charted on the chart, but they do say that if you want to fill in the background, fully stitched, have it a full coverage piece, then you'll need, I don't know, 8 skeins of the background colour, which was cheaper than buying the navy blue 8er or whatever to stitch it on. So I decided I would stitch the blue background, and I'm going to come in at the very end and stitch the blue background because that would be really numbing, like easy. I can watch something on TV and it doesn't matter if I get sidetracked because I just fill in the white spaces with the navy blue. So no counting, no nothing, just filling in. So I thought that sounded like something good I could do watching TV, because I find if I watch TV and I'm really interested in what's on, I will get sidetracked, I'll lose count, I'll make mistakes. So I thought, well, filling it in with the navy blue is going to be perfect for that sort of thing. So there we are. So that's the top left corner, and across page 1 I think goes to like over here and then down quite a bit. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Very, very nice. That's all the stitching that I did the last 2 weeks. Going forward, I am going to, I think I want to work on this again one more night because I'm sort of up here. I've done that flower. I want to get like this flower in. I want to do, sorry, the glare. I want to sort of get down to this flower. The birds, I believe, don't start until page 2 of the pattern. Is that page 2? So page 1, I think, must have, looking at page 2, page 1 must have some of this bird in it. So I want to get down here to the bird, I think, maybe. We'll see how much I can get done tonight. And then I do need to move on because it's June 6th and I haven't done any of my June planned stitching yet. Right, so plans now. I'm going to do, I've fallen behind on the June for the Magazine Monthly Challenge. I haven't even started it. So I think I'm going to do William Morris tonight. Then I'm going to start on these ones, and I think I'm going to do the Glass by the Water Pump. Start with the theme, the farm theme, and then do each of these. Now I don't think any of these are, no, I don't have any of these that I've worked on recently. So that is the plan. Whipgo, I don't know. I just can't seem to fit Whipgo in with what I'm doing. I don't think I have enough stitching time to do everything. So I have to pick and choose. I also want to do, there's a cross stitch camp by the Colorado cross stitcher. And I don't know if I showed it. Let me just grab it. Hang on, wheel back over here. Oh. All right, theme for the June for the cross stitch camp, summer cross stitch camp run by the Colorado cross stitcher, is birds. So I saw this piece by Blackbird Designs, and I want to do this one. Okay, it is, what's it called? Anniversary, happiness to you, dear friends. And what's the chart actually called? Wait a minute. Okay, doesn't actually say. Maybe it's just called anniversary. Okay, so I'm going to do that one. All right, and obviously I'm going to change it to my husband's and my initials, and I'm going to do the day we got married. So I'm going to change this to 19.99 and then change this to 10th of April. So 10/4, I'm in Australia, it's back to front. We do day first, month in the middle. So I'm going to do that 10/4, 1999. And that's going to be my camp piece. And we're already at the 6th of June. I need to get cracking lacking. So that is that. There's also a Paula Vaughan stitch along. I don't have details for that either. I'm not very organised, I tell you. Hang on a minute. Let me tell you who's running that. Alright, there's a Paula Vaughan Sal starting June 21. Summer Stitching Paula Vaughan is the hashtag, and I can't remember where I saw this. I'm sorry. It was a YouTube video somewhere, I think. Paula Vaughan. And I may edit this out, but I'm going to grab all my Paula Vaughan stitches, because I want to start that, because I have lots of Paula Vaughan charts and I want to get some of them started. So, and I didn't get these out. I'm sorry. Hold tight. Where are they all? Right. Oh my goodness. I recently sorted out my stash, so they should all be together. Hold tight. Don't look at my messy office. Oh, this is killing me up. Alright, I think. Okay, I think these are all my Paula Vaughan. Sorry about that. So, oh no. I want you guys to help me decide which one I should start. Let me just check. These are all Paula Vaughans. Paula Vaughan, Paula Vaughan, Paula Vaughan. I do have a book too at the top, but I'm not going to pull that down. Right, here we go. So, I'm going to just call out like a number, and then I want you to vote below and tell me which one I should start for the Summer Stitching Paula Vaughan Sal. So this is number 1. Reflections of the Past. Number 2, Forgotten Basket. I love this one. Number 3, A Cameo of the Past. Number 4, Long Ago. Number 5, Friendship Bouquet. Number 6, The Quilter. Number 7, Wedding Ring Bouquet. Number 8, Yesterday's Dream. Number 9, Thoughts of Spring. What are we up to? Number 10, Summer Welcome. Number 11, Aunt Verdi's Porch. Alright, so let me know below which one you vote for, and I will, you've got until, let's pick a date, June 19, so that I've got time to get the fabric sorted for that. Yeah, let me know. Now, haul. I went op shopping. I think I said last video I went op shopping, and I forgot that I'd got all this when I was op shopping. So I know I talked about the frames, but I forgot to show you all this. So I picked up this, was like 20 cents or something or other. Frolicking Friends Christmas designs. I'm not going to make them into stockings, but I thought that would be like cute little ornament size little things. So lots of cute little things on there. So I picked that up. That was a bargain. And then I got this. I don't know why, but it just appealed to me. Really old-fashioned. August Moon Design Company. Original cross stitch by Sue Cook. I don't even know if it's got a name. It was actually from a store, Stitching the Square, Bracken Ridge. Don't even know if they're still in existence. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, scarecrows. I thought that was just really cute. Very 80s style, but I thought it was really cute. So that was a bargain as well. And then this one, a Dimensions kit. It's got the needle and everything in there. The fabric. This one doesn't. This is just the pattern. This one's actually a kit with the threads. Has been opened, but the threads haven't been taken off the card. So the threads are all still on the card. And it's lovebirds. So I thought that was a really cool one to pick up. Look at all that background of those trees. This obviously is full coverage, is it? Must be. That looks like full coverage. But they all look like half. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe it's on a cream Ada. Anyway, lovebirds. So I picked that up as well. Like I need any more. Anyway. You see this stuff. You can't let it sit there. Like, you know. And then the last thing I have to show is I recently joined a Fabric of the Month club. Paddock Lane Designs in Australia. A fabric dyer. So she's started a Fabric of the Month club. And I thought, well, what a good way to build up my linen stash since I have none. And yeah, so I got the first one in June. Now, if you're a member of the club and you haven't received yours, look away. I don't want to get in trouble for any spoiler alert or any spoilers. So this is a spoiler alert. If you don't want to know what it is and you haven't received it yet, look away now. I'm warning you, okay? Not my fault if you get in trouble. Okay, so this is the first one. I got 28 count linen. It's called Coral Beach. And I hope the light is going to show it. It's a real, there we go. It's like an apricot-y pink mottled. Really, really pretty. Let me see if the light, there we go, that's probably better. It's washing it out just a little bit, but you can see what it's like. So it's more pinky than what it's showing. Let me see if I can get it smaller so you can see it a bit better. There we go. That's what, I just had it, hang on a minute. There, that's what it looks like. Stop washing it out. There, quick. Oh, you ready? That's what it looks like. And it's washing it out. But anyway, that's the fabric. So I decided I didn't want to be a fabric hoarder. Get all this fabric and then not use it. So each time I get some linen, I'm going to pair it up with a project. So I've decided to pair this up with Mirabilia Sabrina. So I'm hoping that the pink in the flowers won't clash with this. It's like it's not a real apricot. In some lights it looks pink, some lights it looks more apricot, but I'm thinking it will blend okay. If you think otherwise, that's probably a pretty good colour there of that fabric. If you think otherwise and you think I shouldn't do it on that, let me know. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm excited that that's my first Fabric of the Month club, and it's very pretty fabric. Last thing I want to cover off is, I know I said I was going to have a giveaway at 500 subscribers. I think today I'm at 298, 299. So I've decided though, I'm still going to do that 500 subscriber giveaway, and that will be a bigger giveaway. But what I've decided to do is each time I finish a project, if the chart is still half decent, then I'm going to give it away. So I'm like spreading the love, passing it forward. And I know what it's like where you see all this stuff that you want to stitch, but you can't afford to have everything. So once I've stitched it, I have no need for it. So I want to give things, pay it forward to someone else who wants to stitch it. So what I'm doing today is this chart. If you want this chart, Cross Stitch Collector, the Nashville release. Now it is only the chart. There's no fabric in there and there's no backing board. So it is just this cardboard chart. I can't show you inside because that is the pattern. All right, so if you want this, then put the word collector in your comments. Don't say the word giveaway, prize, whatever. You have to be over 18 and be a subscriber would be really great. And yeah, if you want this chart collector, it is open to overseas. Yeah, I'll open it overseas. So with postage going up in the future, Australia Post, oh, my hair's sticking out. Australia Post have just announced coming July 3, big increases in postage costs. So postage to outside of Australia is going to be very expensive. Whether I can still offer it overseas after that point, I don't know. But I've got the rest of June. So if I finish another project between now and the next video, which I doubt, then I might offer that as well. Yeah, so I also have a link in the video description box below of our Buy Me a Coffee. I know some people, other YouTubers have it as well. And it's just a little thing that you can donate some funds to me to help pay for the postage for things I'm giving away, as well as occasionally I will, you know, make a project bag to go with a chart or something I'm giving away. So to help with that cost as well, but mainly postage. So if you feel like donating, don't feel obliged. You don't have to, but it's would be really appreciated. Sorry, just keep an eye on the time. I'm going to take my son to another appointment at 1 o'clock. Yeah, so if you want this, put the word collect in your comment. Don't put the word giveaway, and be over 18 so I can ask for your address. And good luck. And this will close. My next YouTube is going to be, and my next video is going to be on the 20th of June. So I will cut this off on, because we have a time difference between, you know, us and the rest of the world. We're ahead. So I'll say the 18th of June. So I will, yeah, I'll look for the winner on the 19th, the day before my video on the 20th. So you've got until the 18th to put in the word collector in your comment to be in the draw for that. So that is all I think I had to talk about. Do you want a little sneak peek of the Bag of the Month Club this month? I still have 7 spots available, because how it works is I have a set amount per month, and then people join for 6 months. So when their 6 months finishes, then those spots open up. So there's normally spots every month because of just how it cycles and rotates around. Then if you want to be in the Project Bag of the Month of the Project Bag of the Month Club, oh my gosh, then head over to my Etsy store. My Etsy store will be listed below, and sign up. And each month it is themed. I try to do, I start with the fabric, and then that determines what the needle minder is going to be, and it also determines what the cross stitch pattern is that I design. A lot of times it determines the flavour of tea, or the colour of the tea bag packet that you get. And what else? And the floss that goes with it is also determined by the fabric. So if you want to join, head over to my Etsy store. Also, I need to update my American friends that I can now, I've worked out a way that I can now send you everything in the club that I couldn't before. So I was merrily sending the tea, the needle minders, everything in the club to all my US friends. Then Customs made a change in the States, and I could no longer send the tea. I couldn't send the needle minder. So it made it a little bit like, well, you know, it's not fair because you're not getting everything that you should in the club. But I have found a workaround, and it's simple as the needle minder. Okay, I classify it now as a fridge magnet. It goes through fine. There's no red flags on it, nothing. It's fine. But if I put it as a magnet, it's a red flag, and it's not going to possibly get through. So, I mean, it might, sorry, itchy nose, it might get through, but it might not. And I'm not going to take the risk of it not getting through, because you've paid for it, so you're entitled to it. But that means if it's held up, you don't get the bag either. You get nothing. So If they decide to not let it in, you get nothing. So for the sake of not getting the bag, I wasn't going to risk putting the magnets in. But now if I classify it as a fridge magnet, there's no red flags, it's going to go straight through. So that's fine. The tea, I still can't export tea to the States for some reason, even though the tea I normally use is Twinings and it is actually packaged in Poland. But I cannot send these little things through to the US. It will get held at customs, which means you get nothing. So what I'm going to be sending for the US ladies is the Swiss Mix hot chocolate packets, which are actually manufactured in the States and I buy at Costco warehouse. So you'll be getting a hot chocolate packet every month instead of a flavoured tea. It means it's the same drink you'll get every month because I know that it's safe and it's not going to get held up. So the good news is for all my US ladies, you will be getting everything in the that comes in the bag now. There'll be no exceptions. Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. And this is a sneak peek of June's bag. Alright, so I think that was all I wanted to say. Nothing like a long goodbye, hey. Alright, that's it. I'm going to go finish my coffee now. Get ready to take my son for another appointment at 1 o'clock. And then do some stitching tonight. So I hope you've all had a wonderful 2 weeks and that you have a wonderful 2 weeks coming up. You get lots of stitching in, that you stay safe and well. And I'll catch you all on the, when I say, 20th of June. My time, my day. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.